we've taken them everywhere. Noah used to play football with him, but our daughter, we would drag her. She'd be the cheerleader that was 2 years old, and so she's been to everything since they were little.
And the two brothers used to constantly play in the backyard. Of course, I would be the quarterback though. He would be the receiver because I can't run as much as he could. But those are the things that I remember. Just those two, being able to play together and stuff like that. So, and then the sister would always, as she got a little older, would want to be in the middle of it'd be now 3 of them playing.
So, I remember very briefly about like HYL League over in the Leopards, and that was a really long time ago. After that, I went to SHAA League in Veterans Park, and we played with a bunch of them still here, and then I went to middle school with them. I played high school ball with them, so we've been all together, like really close for a long time. In my middle school years, I was actually a slot, so I was in quarterback sometimes, so that wasn't like too far off. But high school was when I really started getting serious with quarterback.
It's been a long journey. He has always kind of taken the role of quarterback. He's played some other positions also, but he seems to excel with that one. He's had opportunities for flag football. They got to play under the Buccaneers flag football team a few years ago, so they went to Orlando with that. A lot of the experiences, it's been nice because a lot of the kids that he has played with when they were in kindergarten, he's still playing with now. So there's actually a few on the team, it's a small town, but it's nice.
He's worked consistently training with the exact same people, exact same kids that are now, they're grown men now, and I see them, and they're like, hey, Mr. Fahey, or whatever, and it's like, wow,
Yeah, I get a little bit excited about Fahey. I play quarterback, so I get a little bit more excited about the quarterbacks. But he really is, the true definition of developing it as a high school quarterback. He came in and was on JV as a freshman, and I don't even remember if he started as a freshman at quarterback. I don't think he did. His sophomore year he did. He played pretty well, and he very quickly, became the guy last year as a junior. It took less than a week and a half for me to realize that he's better than anybody else we got. It's not even close. He became the starting quarterback last season. He went 7-0 in his first season in the regular season as a starter. He completed almost 70% of his passes. He threw 15 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1,200 yards. We didn't ask him to run the ball very much last year, but as you can see this year, he's very slippery as far as running the football goes.
He does do running, track, and he's done the weightlifting to improve himself. He always wants to get larger. He always wants to get faster, and he has the determination to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, to show up at the gym, and to show up to do cross country or track.
And I do believe it has paid off, because in middle school they actually did have him doing some of the sprints, which was excellent, because we've always watched him play football, so we were a little surprised when he would get out there on the track and do pretty well also.
So on my off season, I saw track as like an opportunity to get better and like increase my speed for going to play the next season. And then weightlifting, it was something that I enjoyed doing it. So I was in the 154 weight class. I placed first in a few of our meets around here, and then we went to districts. And then there's the regionals, where there's the ones that are like really good, and they're going off to states that are lifting crazy weights. In weightlifting, it was always just nice to see your PR go up 5-10 pounds, or even just the same one next week, and then you just try and get better every week.
His progression in the program has been great, and really the biggest progression has been his body. His sophomore year going into his junior year, he really committed to the off season and to the weight room. And, for that last season, he weighed somewhere between 150, 160 pounds. He ended up benching over 235 pounds. He cleans 225 pounds, and he squats well over 315. So his commitment to the weight room, I think, made the biggest difference for him and changed his body, and, really developed into a man and was able to play that position because of that, I really believe.
So last year, my junior season, my first year on varsity, our first game, I was 10 for 10 on completion, so 100%, and that was a big accomplishment for me. And after that, I know at the end of the season I had 15 touchdown passes, which was the school record, and I think it's 1324 passing yards, which was another record. And at the very end of the season, I got offensive MVP, and everything worked out.
This year, I think he realizes it's his offense. He is one of the main people in the offense, running the ball, throwing the ball. So he's going to have the ball in his hands, with an opportunity to do something with it 20-plus times a game, and that's a big deal. This is his team. This is his offense. This is his time to, be the guy.
He does have a lot of balance, which is nice to see. He does split work, football, plus school, obviously in different orders, but he keeps himself level-headed. And it was kind of nice with the last game. We had a friend of ours come, and he hadn't seen him play yet. So he sees all these big plays, and he even made the comment that said, he just seems so calm and put together, and he doesn't seem to lose his head too much. So we tend to see that, but it was nice to notice that other people tend to see it as well. So I think all in all, it's kind of, giving a definition of what kind of man he can become as we move forward.
With work, I'm working just about every day after practice, and I don't get home till 11:30 most days, and it's just really difficult trying to manage like school, work, football, and then my social life outside of school. So at first it's very difficult and tiring, and you just don't want to do any of it, but then you learn that it's got to be done eventually. So once you do find that sweet spot where you're able to finally relax and you're not having to stress out on rushing from one place to another just to get there on time, it works out.
Overall, he's very remarkable. Whether it comes to sports, school, he is very responsible. He helps a lot around the house, hands-on, very hands-on. But as far as football, one of the things that I do remember was they were on one team that seemed to be, it was almost like the Bad News Bears, that they lost everything throughout the whole season, and then they did come out the champions that year. But I think he was about maybe 7 or 8 years old, but we still talk about it every once in a while.
It's not just football. It's he has just become the adult that he can put himself into any situation. Never loses his cool. Just well-rounded. But his determination towards anything, or his ability to stay with it and stay with things, has really helped him out.
So graduating from here, hoping to go to a school to play college, because it's always just been a dream for me. And not only to play college football, but to pursue what I want to do in life after football. So if I could get those two things to go in with each other, it would be just a great thing for me.
I do think he is on track to reach the goals educational-wise. I think he's always been a good test taker. He's in AP classes. He does pretty well in them, considering all the other responsibilities, but he does keep himself together and level-headed and focused for the most part. He does need a few reminders every once in a while, but he gets there.
Entering he's the honor roll, the dean's list. He's got a perfect score on his SAT for math. FSA for math, which I was like, I don't even know how you do that. But and he would not necessarily come home and tell us about it. We'd have to hear about it when an award comes and says, hey, we have to go to a banquet. And I'm like, when's this? Tonight. I'm like, okay. But I'll be honest with you, his mother and I pretty much at this time let him make most of his decisions on how he's got to balance sports, his personal relationship, and school. Does it always come out the way I would want it? Probably not. But is it working for him as becoming an 18-year-old man in another month? Yes.
So high school has been a long 4 years that goes by extremely fast, and you won't even realize it's gone once it's gone. But I couldn't have done it without my family, coaches. They're always having my back, supporting me to get better. just striving to push me to the person I want to be.